Hey, it's Reimers, month 19. We're coming off a pretty motivated kind of last video here. And this month I decided to start tracking my immersion. So we have some actually kind of interesting data to finally look at. And so let's just get straight into it. So as you can see, um, I will say the first half of this month was probably the most consistent immersion I've done in like at least a year, I want to say. Um, which to be honest, is not too good, right? Like, uh, Refold says that 2 hours is the bare minimum, and like we didn't even hit that half the days of the first half, and obviously they kind of fell off the second half. Um, and it's tough because like I said last month, like it's really there's not much magic to it. It's just a numbers game, and we're just not hitting the numbers. Now, it doesn't mean that like this isn't like still valuable and worth doing, and we're not still making progress. It's not true at all. But just like yeah, like if I want to hit the goals I want to hit and the times I've said I want to hit them, this is really not looking like the the numbers that are needed to get there. But here's where we're at. So in the first half of the month, obviously was feeling quite motivated. A lot of the active immersion then was really coming from Netflix. So I started watching this show called Startup, which is really good. And I really enjoyed it. Now it's funny because I started this and I was watching it a ton and I didn't even finish it. Like really kind of things kind of fell off by the end of the month. You'll also notice here that I downloaded and started paying for the Mikaku subscription and browser extension. Um, I started doing Anki for a little bit again, so I have that pulled up here. Um, and I will say, if you want to do Anki, I think Mikaku is absolutely excellent. Like I can just pull up an example here. So this word, of course, right when I pull it up, it's breaking. There we go. Okay, 당정하다. But by the way, so it's very helpful. You get like the definition, you get like an AI, like what does this word mean in context, like sentence breakdown. Now again, this is not an ad for Mikaku. I just think it is pretty good. And so here, like if we click this word and then we send to the card creator,
이렇게 쉽게 안 된다 단정했어요?
and then you'll see that it automatically fills all these fields, and you can edit them if you want here. And then we click create card. And then if we open Anki, go to browse, and okay, let me flip it.
이렇게 쉽게 안 된다 단정했어요?
단정,
I mean, that's pretty good, y'all. I mean, for fucking how little work that is, like that is, and you can switch
이렇게
it
쉽게 안 된다
to.
단정했어. 이렇게 쉽게 안 된다 이렇게 쉽게 안 된다 단정했어요? 이렇게 쉽게 안 된다 단정했어요? 이렇게 쉽게 안 된다 단정했어요?
That's pretty good.
단정,
That is pretty good. So I think Mikaku is excellent. Now you will see here. Yeah, I didn't really stick with the Anki. I'm gonna be honest. It was kind of for the same reasons I stopped doing Anki in the first place. Because it sucks and it's really not fun and it's really a drag. And I already felt like I was so far along. Like I'm really kind of just all on this like immersion train right now. Like I don't need to fucking waste my time with Anki if it means I'm doing less immersion when I'm already not really hitting the immersion numbers I want. Um, the other thing this month was. Uh, I went to the kind of Korean language club at my college a lot more, and that is really fun. That is really fun. And so I would go, and basically it was great because, I mean, this is kind of like what Anki is doing, right? Like you're kind of like you like see things in immersion, then you make a card. So I'd like take like all these words that I'd looked up from the week. From my immersion and all these sentences that I had saved in Anki or written down. And then I'd go and I'd talk to some native speakers and then just like show them all the words. And we'd write them all on this board and like go over them and their nuance. And obviously it's kind of much more enriching to have that like a native speaker talk to you about it and kind of then ask ChatGPT or just look them up in the dictionary. And also I think it's really fun and motivating. Um, now it's probably not like the most optimal, but I did really genuinely quite enjoy that. Um, what else happened? Yeah, what happened near the end of the month? So okay, this last week, I've been home for Thanksgiving, and I still could have totally found a way to get a couple hours in. But honestly, I was just enjoying being home. I had other shit to do. I had some really busy days. Is that like an excuse? Like, no, like I said, like I totally could have made it work. And some of these days as well. Again, I was busy, but I totally could have made it work. I was talking to my roommate about, I think that's really kind of what separates, um, people who are really able to achieve kind of very high level mastery and excellence in things. Um, and it's the people who find a way, find a way. And I think a good example is like, so my roommate, he really likes going to the gym, right? And he has some like goals in the gym. And I asked him like, how many, like, how often, if you like, could go, if you like, or what was like your goal for how often you go to the gym? He said like every day. And I'm like, in the last like month, like how, or like what kind of, how many days per week have you missed going to the gym? And he's like 3 or 4. And I'm like, the days you missed, could you, if you absolutely tried, could you have found an hour? And he's like, yeah, every single day. Right. And that's the stuff where it's like totally like, if you can find a way, because there is a way, there is a way. And I also think obviously like there's a way with sacrifices, but sometimes there's a way without. I mean, I guess there's always sacrifices, but like it's like sacrificing like TikTok or Reddit or like fucking like doing nothing. Anyways, um, I would say I'm pretty happy with this month. I think if I could, make the average week look like the kind of average of this, like even if we're hitting 100 minutes of active immersion a day. Again, that's under the refold thing, but that's a lot better than I'm doing right now. And I think that I will say, like, by the way, when I was doing this, like I felt like I was learning a lot. Like I really felt like I was seeing a lot, like learning a lot of words and um I felt really good. I would say my average understanding in let me pull up the refold uh guide. Why is their website so slow? Holy shit. What the fuck, dude? Is their website down? What the fuck? Um, come on, come on. Oh my God. Dude, what is happening? Your levels of comprehension. Okay. So I would say with startup, I'd be at like 3 to 4. Um, what is nice is this. This is really nice. That like, and this is why I so much when I was watching startup. I'd like pause and look up a word. And the reason I could pause and look up a word, and I'd do it so quick too, is because there'd be a sentence and there'd be one word in the sentence I didn't understand. Like I could tell exactly where I didn't understand. And that's really, really nice because there are some parts where you're like, I literally have no clue what the fuck just happened. And there still are quite a lot of those. Um, it's always also very interesting. So I've been trying to do like Mikako is this thing where you can like mark words as known versus unknown. And there's a lot of words that I like know that I just got started with Mikako again, so you like end up kind of doing this a lot. But it's kind of an interesting reality check where like you'll see a sentence that you apparently know every word, and you're like, dude, like I didn't really get that sentence. There's this Math vs. Japan video. I think it's called "Why You Still Can't Understand Your Target Language." This video, I probably should rewatch it, but this video is excellent. And basically, the idea is like this exact concept, right? Where people like there's a sentence, you know every word in that sentence on paper, you know every grammar structure in that sentence, and they say it, and you're like, what? And there's some interesting reasons. I've watched this a couple times, but I will say, like Migaku, it's very interesting because it's very explicit to you. Like you can literally see that I have marked every word in the sentence as known, but still, like you're like, I don't really know if I fully kind of grasp that. Um, what else? Here, let me pull up. There was one video. Um, where is it? Uh, there was this one like channel on YouTube that had this video that I was just watching and I like felt like I was really following along. The like dialogue was pretty simple, but that was really nice. Some of this other graphs. So the passive immersion sources, that's almost all DD's podcast. Pretty typical. Active immersion, like I said, I was watching a lot of Netflix, and then some YouTube. And the immersion subcategory. So the first half of the month, I wasn't really tracking the distinction between intensive immersion and free flow immersion. The difference there is something that Refold talks about is like free flow is you're just kind of like when you don't know something, you just kind of keep watching. And active intensive immersion, which is usually what I do when I'm watching Netflix or watching Netflix with Nigaku, is you're like really aggressively, like every time there's a word, you're like covering it, and going through the chat GPTs. And this is like you like crawl through the content. Like I literally like I will like go through like 20 minutes and like 40 minutes, just because you're like pausing so much. But it is very helpful. It's just kind of different. And I also totally see where, like, Refold kind of talked about, like, they call like free flow just kind of like letting the ambiguity kind of wash over you. And sometimes it's kind of nice. Like active and like intensive immersions, like kind of a lot of work. And sometimes it's nice to just like see a sentence you don't understand and just kind of like soak it in. Just kind of like take it in, kind of try to like understand it from context and just keep moving on. And so I actually kind of found a slight appreciation for that this month. Um, Looking forward to next month. I think I'll continue to track. I think it'll be interesting to have some more data over time. Obviously, I think it's a bit unfortunate that I only started tracking now. It would have been kind of maybe more interesting to have some more historical data. But I think it's fine. And I think the goal would be, let's say like an average of 100 minutes a day for next month. I don't think we'll get there, but yeah. And thank you all so much for watching. And I'm very glad to still be doing this and have a small audience for you, or for a small audience to talk to you guys about and to kind of make content for you. So I hope you all are having a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a wonderful December and holiday season and New Year's. And I will see you on January 1st for the New Year. So see you in a bit. Bye bye.